Hello, my name is David Garza and I'm here to do the recorded discussion of Vietnam and, the media. And, well, the questions, I branch them into three different sections. The first one is the analysis of the U.S. Ambassador and General Westmoreland's interviews. The second part is the impact of the television footage on public opinion and the sentiment of the U.S. soldier in the second video. Okay, so first of all, the analysis of the U.S. Ambassador and General Westmoreland's interview. Okay, for me, both of this interview reflected and convey a message to Americans, a false control. That was the whole point of them being so calm in those interviews. Feel like they picture the Tet, what was it called? Sorry. It was a Tet Offensive, if I'm not mistaken. The Tet Offensive as a mistake from the Vietnam Con instead. And of course, they didn't want to picture the United States as a failure or as a country that can make mistakes. Because, of course, I mean, it's understandable from the point of view of the government of the United States. Because who wants to see, for example, General Westmoreland's words like sort of being reckless or having anxiety or fear? What type of message would that convey to the Americans? Of course, it will be even more concerned if the maximum figure of authority or power when it comes to tactical strategies and all that stuff sort of reflects and conveys the message of not being calm. So of course I kind of understand where they were coming from, but I feel like they were deceiving the American citizens into thinking that they had control. And war, one thing that we must know, nothing is under control. Even the smallest country can give battle to the biggest monopolies that you can think of. And for me, this contrasted directly from the television, because the Vietnam War was one of the first wars who the television was actually a vital part of. So sort of that kind of contrasted and just lightened up and it sparked up different minds and a different perspective for the Americans, sort of to acknowledge the fact that they were kind of deceived and thinking they had to control what they have. Okay, so the next part is the impact of television footage and public opinion. I feel like if I was an American back in the day and I would see all this violence and being transmitted in television, this raw images, it would be too much for me. I feel like there was a sentiment of the Americans feeling almost betrayed by their government, trying to focus on someone else's problems rather than internal issues. And I feel like they felt like this war was not in their hands to fight. Of course, that's just my opinion, but what is factual is the television had a crucial role, because that way they can have a different mindset. I think, yeah, the impact of the footage on the public opinion, because for the first time, Americans were shown the brutality of what was actually happening. Because of course, Americans can believe what the newspaper said or whatever anyone else said, but no, they saw it with their naked eye. For example, the raw images were unsettling and of course shocking to them. So they sort of had this own opinion and sort of a rejection now to war. For the last part, I put the sentiment of the U.S. soldier in the second video. If you want to analyze that philosophically, I will say that he's tired. That's the word that I'll use. He's tired and fatigued, and not only, of course, because sort of the war demands the physical activity. I feel like he's fatigued of sort of battling someone else's battles. I don't know if I understand correctly, but basically he says, and I quote, something about he can see Vietnamese sort of soldiers coming through. That's the most difficult part. But I feel like this guy, I'm sorry for the language, but does not give a crap anymore about the patriotism, about his life. I feel like he just wants to go home. And I feel like his life at that point wasn't valuable to him anymore. I mean, that's my point of view, and that's the conclusion I give, and I hope I cover all the questions.